As a young teacher, I remember hearing this line that I really love and that is still for me the gold standard. And it's this. So today we're going to take a look at a scene from Coach Carter to extract some lessons in negotiation and leadership and teamwork.
Mr. Cruz, are you lost, sir?
What I gotta do to play?
Mr. Cruz, you do not want to know the answer to that question. Now, as I was saying, as a team, we shot 56% from the line. From now on, before you leave my gym, you must pay an exit price of 50 made free throws before you can go. That's everybody.
That's a lot of free throws.
Okay, Mr. Cruz. Before you can play on this team, you owe me 2,500 push-ups and 1,000 suicides.
Damn.
Okay. So, as a young teacher, I remember hearing this line that I really love and that is still for me the gold standard. And it's this. It's students excel in the presence of high standards and deep devotion. What we have seen Coach Carter, played here by Samuel L. Jackson, show is without a doubt incredibly high standards. Maybe they are impossible standards. What we don't yet know here is whether he has deep devotion. But one of the key lessons, whether it's a teacher or a leader, is you really need to set really high standards for your team at an individual level and in the way they're functioning as a team. However, if that is done in a way that comes across as cruel and mean-spirited, it will fail. On the other hand, if it is combined with your own deep devotion, your own hard work, your own showing that you are 150% committed to the task, it is a great formula as a leader, as a teacher, and in running a team. So what I see here is really high standards, maybe even impossible standards given the time frame. But I also see at least an invitation to excellence. It's also interesting because it's a negotiation move. There is a take it or leave it, which is always a difficult tactic, even in a situation here from a coach, with a deadline. And one of the things we know is that realistic but hard deadlines tend to induce hard work and action. Unrealistic and impossible deadlines tend to induce despair. So let's see what happens here.
Today's flavor, offense.
Now we're talking.
Now I have a sister. Her name is Linda. Linda is smart. She's political. Well, actually, she's radical. Linda's got a big afro. Linda is our pick and roll offense. Before we get into that.
Okay. I don't know if this standard that Coach Carter has set is impossible, but it has clearly induced compliance and motivation. I also think it's really interesting to see that the push-ups are being done in the presence of the other teammates, because there's something inspiring about that. Also, arguably, it's a way of demonstrating to the coach, I'm taking on your challenge, but I also want to make sure that everyone else here sees how hard I'm going to work.
I got him right here, I'm open. I'm open, that's right. Come on, let's get it. They call out them picks. Yeah, all right. Move up.
Give up, Mr. Cruz. Go home.
Okay, you know what? Let me just pause there. Give up, Mr. Cruz, and go home. Is this reverse psychology or a really bad move? I'm going to go with the latter, a really bad move. You see that your player is working really, really hard. At this point, saying something discouraging, even though it might make for good film, isn't a great leadership move. Saying something like, I appreciate how hard you are working, you got a long way to go, keep going, right? That kind of encouragement is the kind of encouragement that motivates, that gives a new bit of energy. So -1 for you here, Coach Carter.
You know your task is impossible before Friday, right? Move! Work it, work it! Run it back! Clay. Mr. Cruz, I'm impressed with what you've done, but you came up short.
What a critical moment as a leader. You set up a standard that it seems like you knew was impossible. And now it's the moment of decision and the standard hasn't been met. What do? Do you soften your standard and admit that you've made a mistake? I would just say, from a leadership perspective, having the courage to be vulnerable and to say, I am so impressed with what you've done, that I realize the standard I set wasn't humanly possible. You're on the team. That seems like the way to go. But of course, we're in the movies, and Coach Carter is a tough and demanding boss, and so he doesn't do that. So he gives the appreciation for the try, but basically says it's a no-go.
You owe me 80 suicides and 500 push-ups. Please leave my gym.
I'll do push-ups for him. You said we're a team. One person struggles and we all struggle. One player triumphs, we all triumph, right?
I'll do some. I'll run suicides too.
Okay, I better stop before I get misty, which we don't want to happen here. But man, are there some other really good lessons here. You know, whenever I have run a teaching team or a consulting team, one of my first lessons, one of my shared norms, is what I call choose to help. And here is this kind of magical Hollywood moment that is demonstrating a really key feature of successful teams, which is not, I've gone through my checklist, I've done my job, now you do your job. But it's instead saying, where can I help? Where can I fill in the gaps? And there's also just a really great negotiation lesson here. For those of you who have watched my videos, you know that one of the ways in which you create value is by looking for and exploiting differences in resources and capabilities. And at this moment, we have a player who has been doing suicides and push-ups all week. His resources and capabilities are completely depleted. But the rest of the team, they still have energy. They still have resources and capabilities. And so setting this example of saying, I'll do the push-ups for him, suddenly shifts the whole team dynamic. And what you see is this group coming together, not playing for themselves, but playing as a team. Really good leadership is demonstrated by a mashup of things that we see Coach Carter do and Channing Tatum's character do. For example, setting high standards. For example, choosing to help. For example, stepping out and making a first step. So, if you want to see another example of good leadership in sports, keep watching this next video from one of my favorite shows, Ted Lasso. And do me a favor and be a good team player by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and hitting the bell so you won't miss any new content that comes your way. Okay, you want to keep on watching Ted Lasso? Click, click, click. Keep on watching. Choose to help. Keep watching my channel.